It's time to call the meeting to order. Roll call's been taken.
Yes.
You've noted the absence of Commissioner Gershman.
Yes.
We need to approve the minutes of our last meeting, January 7th, 2016. A motion to approve? So moved. Thank you. A second? Thank you. Are there any correction or changes to the motion?
Michael?
No corrections or changes. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. The motion carries. The next item on our agenda is the administration of the oath of office and badge pinning for our new firefighter, Paul Takis.
Takis. I'd like to go to number 5 for a minute. He's a couple minutes delayed, so if we could.
No.
Oh, okay.
This isn't going to bode
It's
well
your
for his
call.
pinning.
All right, go to number 5.
In front of you, you have 2 sets of bills. Both of them were signed by Commissioner Franklin. A couple things just to bring to your attention. On page 5D, we have 37 sets of carbon fiber hoods. We have hoods in process, but this is kind of new for us. One of the things that's a big push in the fire service is cancer prevention, and actually skin contact with a lot of the products of fire cause skin cancer. So one of the things that we determined is that we will wash our hoods after every fire. So that means that they need to have 2 sets of hoods, one that's being washed, one that's available. So that's in place as we speak. Page 5G, you'll see software called Peak Software. We've got one that we carry on our mobile computer, but one we needed back here at the station. And what that stands for is Palm Top Emergency Action for Chemicals. And this tells you how long it's been around, since it's morphed into every smartphone and everything else. But this is a company that does this a little bit differently. It has everything we need, but it's run by a whole group of chemists. So we're very much assured that the information that we have on that is up to date and the best that we can get. On page 5G, you'll see, which looks a little bit different from MedPro Midwest Group, what that really is billing for our ambulance cot maintenance. Our cots are getting to the point where there's very little that we can do with them ourselves, and we need to have a company come in and take care of that as well. And on page 5H, PS Tracks, that's a new software program that we have that is actually going to help us with our apparatus equipment and inventory inspections. So we'll be able to keep that on a daily basis. That will then also bring forward automatic reminders when things haven't been done or things need to be followed through on, things like that. So that's what we're looking for. With that, I'll answer any questions you have. Otherwise, I ask for your approval. Second.
Thank you. Any questions or comments for the chief? Hearing none, I'll call the question. All in favor of the motion to approve the... Oh, that's right, we got to do a roll call. I don't know what I would do without you. I really don't.
Neither do we.
Well, I wouldn't know what to do without her either. Our chief only thinks he runs that police department.
Well, I know. Myers.
Yes.
Miller.
Yes.
Why? Jeez. Anyway, Franklin.
Yes.
Keogh, yes. It's way too early in the... what's distracted me is how young are you hiring firefighters? I mean, we're getting a little desperate.
I don't think we're getting desperate. But they do look younger and younger to me every day as well.
Motion carries in any case. Next item on the agenda is administration of the oath of office and badge pinning for our new firefighter, Paul Takis.
Okay, Paul's our new firefighter paramedic. He's currently a licensed paramedic and firefighter 1 and 2, getting his training from North Central Technical College. He came to us working as a paramedic at Sacred Heart Hospital in Tomahawk and advanced EMT firefighter for Rothschild Fire Department. This is Commissioner Keough. He's going to administer your oath of office.
Hi, Paul, it's good to meet you. Good to meet you too. Now, you're supposed to raise your right hand, and then I'll read it and you repeat after me, and I'll hold it this way so you don't have to remember anything. Okay, get your right hand up. I, Paul Takas.
I, Paul Takas.
I misled you.
I wish you'd get it straight. Having been hired as a firefighter, paramedic,
Having been hired as a firefighter paramedic,
swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States
swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Wisconsin,
and the Constitution of the State of Wisconsin,
and will faithfully discharge the duties of said position
and will faithfully discharge the duties of said position
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability.
so help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, you're now a sworn firefighter. Your wife's name is Patty? Patty, are you here?
Yeah.
You want to pin the badge on him? It's an opportunity.
I like that idea.
I've got to get it off here.
She just slide right there.
Now, there's a long, straight pin in the back, so...
Good to know.
That's good for now. It's official now. He's sworn in and his wife pinned his badge. He's the newest firefighter. Paul, thank you. We're glad to have you. And Patty, thank you.
Thanks for getting him here on time.
Now that I think about it, Patty, I'm going to give you, this is a additional badge, and you can figure out where it goes. Make sure it gets in. Next item on our agenda is the approval of police department bills. Chief.
Yes, good morning. You have seven sets of bills in front of you. Some of these are ones from a couple of months ago, but they're 2016 purchases, so that's where the delay is a little bit. But 2 from 2015, 5 from 2016. A couple things I'd like to bring to your attention. A couple purchases made on 6C. There was 3 new Colt rifles purchased for our squads. We're starting to rotate the old rifles out. We've had them in the squads for about 10 years, and they're at that point where some of the parts are starting to wear down, and we're just going to slowly over the next two years replace out all the squad rifles. There's also a subscription on that page for our Cellbrite unit. This is an annual subscription. Cellbrite is our forensic software and device where we can extract data from cell phones, tablets, some PCs, but it's just another tool that we use, but there's an annual subscription fee. 6F, you'll see purchase of some desks and chairs for the police department. These are things that have been needed for a while, and this was an opportunity to purchase those. We also purchased some lobby and squad room lights to replace out some of the old sodium lights that took roughly 2 to 4 minutes to actually turn on and come to full power. We purchased some LED lights. Ones in the squad room have not been installed yet. The ones in the lobby have. So that installation should be happening shortly. On 6I, you'll see a purchase for 10 crossband repeaters. We've had some challenges with communication. We have had a couple communications meetings in the past few months, including the fire department. Commissioner Myers was there on one of the meetings, just talking about the challenges we've had with communicating outside of buildings and inside and outside of buildings in certain areas of the city. A lot of the metal and brick structured buildings such as a hospital, clinic, a lot of the box stores that we just can't communicate out of. So this was an option, is going with these crossband repeaters in the squads. It's converting a UHF signal to VHF in the squad. We were quoted one price from a regional vendor. We were able to find a local vendor that was able to cut that price in half. So we went with that purchase. And those are probably going to be installed in the next month. And on 6M, the last thing I'll mention, we had purchased a couple more beanbag, a couple more less lethal firearms so that we can have more of these, not weapons, but tools inside of our vehicles. So if we do come into contact with an individual where we're able to take him into custody or control a situation using beanbag rounds, this is just, we'll have more of these at our disposal. We had a successful deployment of the beanbag rounds a couple of months ago with an individual who was threatening law enforcement, threatening a girlfriend, saying he had a gun on him. Never exposed that gun, but was wanting police officers to shoot him before he shot towards us. The officers were able to equip themselves with a beanbag shotgun and were able to take down the individual and take him into custody and realize he didn't have a weapon on him. One of those, as Chris Jockek had said, one of those page 9 or 10 articles that you see in the paper that easily could have been front page of many top newspapers in the nation had the situation gone differently. So it's our goal to equip each of our squads with one of these tools so that it's at everyone's disposal should they need it. Other than that, I'd be happy to answer any questions you have about those bills, or would ask you to approve them.
Move to approve the police department bills.
So moved.
Thank you. Second.
Second.
Thank you. Comments or questions?
Just one quick question, Chief.
Yeah.
On page 6F, for the lighting, is that right? 9350 for 11 lights?
Yep. Yeah, that includes installation of them. A lot of our lights in our squad room and in the lobby, they needed to be rewired. They had, I'm going to get the language wrong, but there was power supplies that were not near where the lights were, and just a lot of tracking, a lot of labor costs. But then also these LED lights are quite powerful, and I know they're quite costly, but they should. The longevity of them should be there, and the cost savings and electricity to power them up should be noticed as well. But yeah, that's the accurate price.
Okay.
Andy, just a comment to that. I think you'll be staggered about the savings in electrical on those. So we just installed them in our company, and I can't believe the savings in electricity.
Gives
well
everything a
worth it.
different look too. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
it does.
it's
It's a
total,
lot brighter, but-
right.
Well worth it.
Good. Any other comments? This requires a roll call vote. I'll call the question. Commissioner Myers?
Yep.
Miller?
Yes.
Franklin? Keough, yes. The motion carries. Next item on our agenda, Fire Department activities, training reports, and correspondence. Chief?
Yeah, January of every year is a busy month, trying to get everything set up from the previous year and start off for the new year. But out of that whole group, there's one item I really want to bring to your attention. That's on page 5J. It's a letter that we received from one of our firefighter paramedics, Pete Winnesdorfer, in reference to a call that our guys responded to for his great uncle. While he admits that, there wasn't much that our guys could do, apparently what they were able to do for the family was more than even they realized. And I think this was intended to let our guys know that, but I think it's a great letter, and I just want to bring that to your attention. Something we're very proud of.
It was a very nice letter.
With that, I'll be glad to answer any questions that you may have, and ask that you place this on file.
Need a motion for that? I didn't think so. Any comments, questions? It was a nice letter. I was appreciative of reading it. Next item on the agenda is a review of ambulance operations, which may have impact on fee changes. Information only.
Information only. Really, it wasn't that long ago that we came in front of you asking for a rate review. With the conditions changing on the way the hospital is operating and the way the new hospital is coming in, that means we're going to have to rework our whole system, the way it works. We've already had one call where we found out our fee structure was inadequate, and Deputy Chief Owen and myself have been talking about this. So we're going to end up, within the next week, we're going to be working between ourselves to come up with a better fees and, more appropriate, but then we'll be working with finance to do that. I just wanted to give you a heads up in reference to the fact that we would be bringing these back to you. Our intent is that we will be able to take care of the needs of both the old hospital and the new one when and if it comes on board. But I'm just giving you a notice that we will be coming back to you probably in the near future with a change in that. And that our intent is that we make sure that our fee structure is such that the enterprise fund stays very healthy, monetary-wise. So.
Thank you. Any comments or questions?
With that, I take it you're anticipating different types of runs?
Correct.
A little more of this and a little less of that, and transfers and intercepts.
We've always been kind of spoiled here because we basically had really one hospital that we transported to. Now all of a sudden that whole dynamic is changing, and the different types of runs that we're going to be running and things like that are there. And so we expect this to be a very dynamic situation, and so we want to stay on top of it. And this won't be our only review of this. As time goes through and we find out more, we'll be changing this. But our intent is to stay ahead of it instead of coming back to you and say, hey, we're behind the 8 ball. I want to be in front of it.
What kind of changes are you anticipating?
Some of the changes are with the fact that staffing is going down at the hospital. There's a thing called diversion, and that's where we'll have to take patients, instead of taking them here, they'll be automatically diverted to a different hospital, and there is no hospital nearby, so we'll be going probably to Wausau or to other places. So we'll be doing longer distance hauls, transports than we have in the past, plus other specialty types of transports as this whole structure is changing over there. And I think the next 2 years are going to be very challenging for us, but we plan on staying on top of it as best we can.
Correct me if I'm wrong, that's only about an 18-month window that we would have to transport. If this all it transpires wrong, we'd only have to transport for about an 18-month period to a...
I think, yeah, I think it'll be a little bit longer than that. The 18 months would get it started, but for getting a hospital up and running, that's kind of a slower process. I know they're on the fast track, but I would think more of a 2-year would probably be a more accurate one. But either way, I think we'll be in good condition for that. I think in the long run, it'll be really good for the city and for this department, but until everything gets resolved, we're going to do our best to stay on top of it.
Nothing more? Well, thank you, Chief. Keep us informed. You said it was a dynamic situation, and it is. And I think it will affect you in lots of ways, and I want to make sure we keep up with that. Police Department activities, training reports, and correspondence packet. Chief Gramza.
Yeah, here's a couple things I'll bring to your attention, a couple of interesting opportunities we've had. On both the 13th and the 22nd of January, I was able to meet and give tours to the police department, to both Aldermans Jockek and Earl. It's my goal to meet with each of the city council members over the next couple months. I have a couple other meetings scheduled. Was able to give them a tour of the police department, kind of a refresher of challenges we've had with our structure, our facility, goals we have within the next maybe 5 to 10 years, both internally and externally throughout the community, and be able to hear any concerns or address any concerns that they have for their aldermanic districts. So those first couple meetings have been very valuable, in my opinion. On the 15th of January, we wrapped up our Student Citizens Academy. Annually, we have a Citizens Academy for the community. We started just this past semester running a Student Citizens Academy at the high school, hoping that that will spur interest in the profession of law enforcement, and we can use that as a recruitment tool or a just an outreach tool in filling law enforcement jobs. As you've heard me explain, the last couple of hiring processes we've had, our numbers have been down. So if we can spur that interest at an earlier age, we're hoping that that will benefit central Wisconsin as a whole. We will be starting the spring session of our Student Citizens Academy at the high school next week. So it's just staggered throughout the semester, about 11 or 12 different presentations we give to two criminal justice classes at Marshfield High School. The 21st of January, we had our first Coffee with a Cop community policing or community relations session. We did that down at the Daily Grind, and we had probably 6 or 7 members from Main Street Marshfield attend, or business leaders or business owners attend. I was able to meet with them, do a lot of question and answering. We're hoping to do this twice a month. Various times throughout the week, in the evening, during the day type of thing, just to be able to make ourselves more approachable, more available, and be able to have that kind of that town hall meeting, impromptu opportunity with the community, just to keep those relations going in the right direction. On the 23rd of January, we had a couple officers go over to King and take part in a mental health for veterans summit, and this was just a good educational opportunity to help us learn how to work with veterans that are coming back into the community and are struggling with depression or post-traumatic issues and things, and just how we can help them address their needs and be able to work better with them when placed in that position. On the 26th of January, we had a strategic planning meeting that Commissioner Keel was able to attend and give us some insight as to the proper ways to start our strategic plan process and what we need to do as a department, and some ideas as to how we can reach out to the community and better prepare ourselves for putting together our strategic plan. And then on the 28th of January, we had our first of 4 meetings. PDC is coming into the police department and just kind of doing a refresher as to what services they offer and what opportunities are offered through PDC. We have a lot of younger officers who know what PDC is, but don't necessarily know the ins and outs of the Personal Development Center. And since we work with them hand in hand on a weekly basis, I thought that this was a good opportunity to have members from PDC come in and just educate those officers and refresh some of them who have been with us for a while as to the benefit of having them in our community. There's also a couple of things on 9J through 9L, a couple of checks that we received for our canine fund that were very generous and very appreciated. And then also a reimbursement check that we received from Greater Green Bay Community Foundation that was just reimbursing us for the turkey trot security that we provided back in November. Be happy to answer any questions you have on those bills, or on those on that activities report.
Questions or comments? Hearing none, thank you, Chief, and we'll place on file. Crime reports. You might explain why one line grew so much for this year and another line shortened so much for this year. I'm not going to tell you which ones. You'll have to figure that out.
Well, there was a traffic report that I'll bring to your attention. There's been fewer traffic stops in that first month of January than last year, without looking at the weather or if there was any grants that were run early last year. It's hard to say why the numbers were down. And then the only other discrepancy would have been more, family disputes. We had double the family disputes in January than we had in previous years, or in the previous year. And again, that could change on a monthly basis. It kind of depends on people's moods and what gets reported. I mean, there's a lot of crimes out there that we may not know about if they don't get reported. It might have been a month where it was individuals felt the need to report more than last year. Otherwise, there's nothing of great significance. A lot of the numbers are very parallel to where they were last year.
10B, 10B.
Okay.
The first line, or the first.
Yeah, that was the just the family disputes or the
What,
parent-child.
what, any sense of what triggered the difference? I mean, that's a significant, well, I don't know, if you count.
From
that.
11 to 5, or
Yeah.
5 to 11.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
The N is small, so the line represents less than, but none, it's a big difference.
it is, yeah. It's really hard to put your finger on what could cause that. Next month, we could see it, reverse itself a little bit, so.
All right, that's fine, just curious.
And then we're full of power.
Pardon me? Now, if this were a class, I know how to deal with that. Okay, is there anything else? We've completed the agenda. Is there anything else to bring before the assembly? Hearing none, I'll adjourn the meeting. Thank you very much.